Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin.
Present.
Coach Calvinator.
Not present.
Cowpat.
Look,
he's
I-
flat.
Roy, I need to say, okay, yes, I had a disappointing week, but the roller coaster of this man over here.
Oh, it's extraordinary. It's nothing new to us, however.
Like, we've rocked up today, the notes have been done. He sat up last night and typed all the notes up for the podcast. You know, it's just he goes to a new level.
As you've said many a time,
Yep.
it's just better for everyone when he's going well.
It is. It's a happy dog.
1990 for the Warn Dogs this week. That was my score, which was a lot more than, say it,
1856.
That's brutal.
But this was going to be the week, Roy. This was going to be the
This
week.
is the problem.
I was going to rocket ahead because
Yeah.
I didn't have Weasel number one.
No.
I didn't think
The elephant was going to grow a limb
the
back.
elephant was going to be eaten this week, but it was eaten.
Oh.
And I found another one to start eating. And got a fair chunk of that because, Destroy, I'm only 85 points behind you now.
I know. Well, I told you from the start not to panic, but yeah, so 1923 I had, which it saved disaster, to be honest,
Yeah.
because like many coaches out there, just putrid.
Oh, yes.
So ranking-wise, I halved mine again, basically into the top 2,000 now.
Can I be a different animal, not an elephant?
What element
I
would
don't
you like
know.
to be?
I'll have a
What would
think
you
about it.
taste like?
Actually,
You'd be like a big bloody
No.
rhino.
Some bitter old.
I've always thought this. I've always
as
thought this
gutsy.
about you. Your neck is a little long.
Yeah.
Giraffe.
I can't be giraffe.
He's a giraffe.
It's not giraffe areas. It's got length, but
Jordan
it's not giraffe areas. Yeah, I'm not silky.
Anyway,
I'll
all right,
take it, though.
Let's get into it.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
I'm going to kick off because
Okay,
Thursday night,
Oh, yeah, well
I was
done.
on track to win the week, Roy.
Yeah,
See,
you're
if we're
killing
talking
it.
a roller coaster, you were high.
Well,
you
that's
were on top.
fair.
That
That's
was
fair.
like sitting at the top of Mount Everest on the roller
Yeah,
coaster,
it was.
thinking, "Oh, can it still go up?"
Because bringing Zorko in is never a fun thing to do.
No, it's
because
scary.
it's obviously the dangers are all there. So Zorko comes out on the Thursday night, pumps out a 117 for me. And Max obviously had that 149 VC for a lot of people in
Yes.
that game as well. So my chest was out. I will admit, the
Yes,
chest was out.
fair.
And I was adding pieces to the elephant. Back on
Because
again.
you were thinking, "Oh, those blokes don't have Heaney."
So anyway, she crashed
All right.
after that.
It's about time I just gave a little bit of respect to someone who just keeps getting it done for me week in, week out, and it is Jack Steele.
Number 3.
Weasel number 3.
Weasel number 3. So 122, did it again, had a
He's just
big
so
head
good.
clash early, just brushed it off.
Yeah.
Big fella. He's tough as nails again. He is man of steel. He's
He is.
back.
He's very
He's
good.
back.
I'm going with the man of Sheezel.
Oh.
Weasel number 2.
Weasel number 2.
Yeah, love him. That was magnificent. A little bit disappointed. He must have lost a handball in the showers. Or
That was
something
rude.
like
that was a
but
pissed off non-owner doing
Yeah.
the stats on that.
159, amazing. He was brilliant and a must-have. And if you didn't start him, Cal, you're sliding.
I can't get to him. How can you get to it? It's going to cost me 200 and something K from Tom Stewart to him.
There's going to be a movie, $1 Million Weasel.
Yeah.
And that's what he is.
He is. And
And it's going to be your chase.
15 marks.
Can you actually get him?
Oh, how?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
To sell my left leg or something, Roy. He's going to be hard to get to. Very
Your
hard.
left leg would not go for much.
I wouldn't.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Tom Green! Tom Green! Okay, listen.
Repeat.
Oh, just because you're playing fantasy now, mate, and you're doing well,
Did he trade himself out?
Oh.
That's my question.
what is he doing? Get him on, dog. Get him on the pod right now. Fantasy ambassador.
Give him a ring, you reckon?
Lift your game, son.
Slam ambassador.
What is he doing?
I had him as well. I have faith he'll be back bigger and better than ever, but you go take your rage out on him.
Oh, if I'd captained him, right, if I made him captain and I didn't, he still wouldn't have got to Sheezel's score.
So my -3 actually goes to a bloke that some people might have vice captain on Friday night, which was the 53, and that's where
Oh, my
I was
God.
at my low point of my roller coaster thing, and this is cooked. We're not in for a good week this week because Bont was a bad starting pick, as we've gone through, because someone
Yep.
tried to fight against it, but the FOMO got there.
Yeah.
And anyway, so 53, awful. And people would have VC'd that going, you cannot take that on. It might have gone into green.
Yep.
Without a doubt they have.
Yep, they would have. So he scored about 100 points less than he did the week before.
Well done.
Well done,
Good
Bont.
effort.
Thanks,
and didn't
Bont.
they look
Yeah.
like a rabble?
Yes, and you know what's going on there.
Sulky rabble.
Yep, people are starting to see Bevo. They're
Well,
starting to see him.
Yeah.
The attitude and effort appears to be filtering down from the coach.
It does.
But how about the Bombers?
No.
No, that's exactly why it's even more concerning.
Bevo needs to put a stack hat on, jump on his skateboard and leave. Right, simple as
It'd
that.
be one of those old school. Would he go the orange or the white?
Orange.
Yeah,
Orange.
100%.
Have to
What
go
colour
orange.
stack hats did you guys have? I had an orange one.
I think one was white.
I went white.
Yeah.
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 So I'd won out.
The orange was cool.
It was. It was probably the coolest.
Roy?
I just played it safe.
Do you have anyone to be negative about?
Bloody oath I do. Because
destroyed.
I was furious at myself for this. So, you know how, I don't know, old people like us try to play new school every now and then.
Yep.
So, obviously, I had Bont, and it looked like disastrous round because it just wasn't going well. Bad scores everywhere. So, I thought I need to chase a score here rather than grab cash. So the best I thought that was left, despite a tough matchup, was Brayshaw.
Okay.
Man, oh man. I'd never watch him that closely. I just see his 110 average every year.
Yep.
I watched closely and I was horrified. So the flags were obviously there. So, they're running so many people through their midfield. He's not going to just be in there like he used to be. But I wasn't too worried about it, especially after last week he showed he could score in that role. Well, man, oh man, if I have never seen a slower, horrendous, and he's a seagull.
Oh, yeah.
No seagull about him. Didn't even want to chip. No marks. Only player on the whole ground that didn't take a mark. Now, if he was tagged, maybe semi-acceptable. No one gave us stuff what he was doing. There was no tag. 70-80 scored me. Biggest waste of money and boneheaded trade I have ever made.
So Bont and Brayshaw did not take a single mark on the weekend.
No.
Unbelievable.
I had three guys averaging 110 plus.
Yep.
Not one of them hit 80.
Oh. Unbelievable.
That's embarrassing.
Unbelievable.
It was a cooked round, though.
It
I think
was.
everybody.
I wasn't alone.
Everybody hurt in some way, I assume.
Yep.
I hope, anyway.
Oh,
Because-
look at him. Look at him.
I hope because we're all in it together. That's the thing. We are all in it together.
Oh,
Here
when
we
things
go.
are going well,
That's-
we're in it together.
That's not supposed to sound as bad as what it does.
And then
even though
you're
it's
hoping they
7
hurt.
minutes.
Smugness is massive in here at the moment.
Going well, but still hoping they're hurting.
Yeah, that's typical
Dog.
Dog 101, that is.
That's you from your pedestal,
Yeah.
looking down on everyone.
Isn't he?
So a couple of scores there that would have been the hurting ones from, well, the highest priced players that you just didn't get exactly what you wanted. Even our big boy at the right at the top, who's the most expensive player, Zach Merritt, 104. You never complain about that.
No,
You
but he
didn't
was
get
on
your big
track
ones,
for a
yeah.
big one, and he slowed up.
Serong a 92, so he's had a couple of poor ones.
He has.
And then you mentioned Tom Green there before in that. Bont, 53, his price going down.
Tim English, 68.
Yep. Some absolute shockers. Jordan Dawson, 60. Now, that's a roll change.
That was
does not
nasty.
look good.
That's not good.
Lairdy, 75.
These are the big dogs.
Yeah.
Petrarca, 64.
Barely a yelp.
Oliver, a 40-something.
Oh, goodness me.
Yep. Nuke,
Nuke.
40.
I don't think we should even talk about him anymore.
People-
He should never have been fantasy relevant.
Well,
What about-
You know what, though? He's getting cheap. He's getting cheap, boys.
Alright, he is. What a far cry from our call out here, Duke Nukem.
He looked so good in that game.
He did. I think
Only
it was
because
the sound.
there was the sound.
Made
It made him so much better.
No, it was bad. And there were injuries
Yeah.
and subbing.
Well, people made some mistakes as well. They had some things, Roy, you
Oh.
put out on Twitter.
Oh, mate, I'll just actually open that up because I felt the tension in the fantasy room, and people just need to get it off their chest sometimes. So I opened the platform for them just to have their rant, get it off their chest,
Yep.
and now we charge forward again.
I love it.
But you have to get it off your
do.
chest. And there were some horror stories. I'll just open it up, and I haven't even read these ones at the top. But Jaden Short, starting pick.
yeah.
Oh.
Bont score counting.
Oh, no.
trading in Graham, but having a look at him on the bench.
Oh, wow.
Having Green or not having Sheezel, not sure what's worse. Bont into captain Green.
Ouchie, there it was.
There it was. Green captain, Warnie, Martin, Jackson, Clark combining, and he lost to his mate who was starting 3 rookies on the field and had 3 donuts.
That's devastating.
It's just this, and it's Bevo, and it's Newcomb.
You know what else I've noticed about these round, only your best 18 count? I don't think they're quite adding mine up right.
There's a chance that's the case.
Something's going on here.
No, I actually grabbed the spreadsheet out because I really wanted to track this week, and
No.
they got it correct.
Every time we get best 18s, I struggle, and it's because they're not quite adding it up right. So I don't know who I need to talk
Is
to.
there some, and this is a serious question, not taking the piss out of you too much,
Yep.
but is there a strategy that hasn't worked for you? I guess it's missing those big dogs. That
and my team as a best 22
Yeah.
is quite solid
Yeah.
with my rookies and that. And
Yeah.
I've even got really good bench cover.
So it's that almost conversation that the guns and rookies.
It's nearly too safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
right.
people, for example, this week in a normal 22 round,
Oh, I would have been cooked.
people would have had a 2 from Colby,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whereas I
29 from
wouldn't have
Gallagher
had
for
that.
me.
No.
So, yeah. Would you have 20? Yeah, Gallagher.
I would have had a 29, a 2, a 36,
Yeah.
and then Bont's 53.
So an interesting thing in play here too, talking about that strategy. So I copped Colby's 2, but I gave him the chance to outscore Sharp's 65. If
Yeah.
it had been a best
And
22
Sharp would have
week,
counted.
Sharp would have, I probably would have got dropped off in the
Yeah,
end. So I didn't miss out in the
yeah.
end. But in a best 22 week, I would have locked in that 65
100%.
every day of the week rather than taking it on.
And that's something moving forward. I think that's where some of that strategy, and this is our last week of that, we do have our, who is it? Richmond and Melbourne on the bye this week.
Yes.
So not much going on there, though. I don't think there's really much loop-de-doopy that
No.
I'll be able to do anyway.
No.
Off the bench.
Oh, imagine this one. So Wilkesy had Bont, Dawson, Martin, and then he moved the C from the Shees
Oh, no.
to Serong.
Oh, no.
God, that's a lot.
That's a lot of points.
60-odd points
Like
there.
they're the ones that really cost you sleep at night when it's a 50-50 call and you weigh it all up and you launch into the wrong one and it's then what do you expect? 15 points either way, you're not too disappointed, are you?
No.
No.
But when it's that,
Now, it wasn't terrible for a lot of coaches out there, like Aidan Achy Blakey Hart. So he must be a fan of the Lizard and the Swans there. Top scored for the week, and that was a very nice score, which rocketed him into 20th overall.
Oh, well
so
done.
That's a pretty good week to have that. Now, the overall leader now is Get Out of the Kiln, Jordan's team. So they are sitting on top, 10,338 points. So what's that, about 350 for me? That's a big elephant to eat.
no, it's not really.
It's a massive
You can do that.
The Hilux is still a chance there. If you are looking at the hat, though, I do like this team name here for Kyle's team, who is in 100th spot at the moment with 10,176 points. Colby McKercher. Oh, I'm only 200 points behind top 100.
Yeah, dog, you can
That's
wear a
hat
hat.
chance.
Hat
Oh,
chance.
well,
This
Roy's
time.
the hat chance.
No, well,
You're looking good.
I think statistically, judging by what Jaden says, we're all still a chance for the hat.
Oh, okay. Here
This
I go.
early in
Here
the
I go.
season.
Here I
You're
go.
still- You're still ranked 5,000, aren't you?
Yeah.
You can throw a blanket over it.
Okay.
Does he have a
dead set.
stat there? You a chance without having Sheezel beating you still.
Oh, okay, that's not a good one to look at. I
Hey,
wouldn't recommend looking at
They
that one.
will crumble at some point, fellas.
When?
Oh, I don't know. It'll happen.
Oh, it just won't.
Imagine the
That's
celebration that
problem.
week for.
That's why I feel for you here.
That's the week I come rocketing home.
Votes are in for the Michael Barlow medal. That's our cash cow of the year for round 5. And Will Graham was a great downgrade option last week. He scored 104 thanks to a massive 14 tackles for the 5 votes. Now, we're paying $327K for the son, who's basically a must-have with a break-even of negative 29 if we don't have him.
I had Blake Drury in my classic team last year, and his best score was 53. He found his way into North Melbourne's team and kicked 2 goals for his 101 and the 4 votes.
How about my Kelty Lafau? Nailed that, dog, in the final game of the round. He claimed the 3 votes for booting 3 goals to help him to 99.
More like Lacow. Almost 45,000 coaches brought Sam Closey into their team last week, and oh boy, he delivered. A couple of goals saw him grab 2 votes thanks to his very fieldable 94 points.
Big Nyuon played his first game for the Roos after crossing over from the Tigers. He took 7 marks as a part of their back 6 to score 83 and the 1 vote.
Now, there's no change at the top of the leaderboard with Matt Roberts on 15, Ollie Dempson on 9, Jeremy Sharp and Riley Sanders on 8, but we have Closey now joining Colby McKercher on 6 votes.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
There's a bit of news out of the weekend, so we better get through it, which will affect a few teams. Now, Salem, a bit of a hammy, and what heard about that was 5 points early in the game. Yes. And I know people have been wanting to get off, but if they've had bigger issues, that was even greater.
A lot of people, I remember a lot of people said, at least he's playing and he can go for his bye.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Bad luck.
Brutal. Sums up the week.
Liver, that ankle injury is put him into concussion protocols. So, no.
Foot bone's connected to the head bone.
Too right it is.
Sam Taylor, concussion. That was a big hit.
That was bad.
So he'll miss
that was
this
nasty.
week.
I sent him a message on our behalf. Not name dropping or anything, but he appreciated it.
Yep, good.
No, he's good. He's good.
He's sweet.
Yep.
All right. Who else have we got here? Cogs. That knee looked really bad.
Oh, thank
but
goodness.
they're calling it 2
It's
weeks.
not. Yep.
So that's a massive win for him.
We are lovers of Cogs.
And Briggsy hurt his wrist. You saw that? You know that could open the door for V8.
Oh,
yes. Juicy Brucey.
And not for us picking him or anything like that.
What?
We better have a look at who he's taking on.
taking out more like
Yes, that's what I mean. We've got some bloody issues coming up.
Carlton this week, Roy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They'll have to go with 2 rucks.
They're going to have to go with 4.
Brutaliser. Max King, knee there for him, so waiting on some more news for that one. Now, the Blues did cop a little bit, Roy.
Oh,
with
tell me
Chera
about it.
Laid out with a hammy.
Yeah.
But then Sard did a hammy.
Yeah.
Which probably opened up the door for your mate, Zach Williams.
No, he
and
still
McGovern.
didn't do anything once. He's still just in his first half. Doesn't care who's there, who's not there in the second half. Doesn't touch it. But, yeah, Gov as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a worry.
Malcolm Roses hurt his hamstring. Now, on Sunday, Cal, your little protege,
Yes.
Colby McKercher.
Yeah, not good.
Well, he wasn't even before the ribs either.
No.
2 points.
Yeah, he was
in a
struggling.
quarter,
He was
pretty much.
struggling.
But, yeah, so he only... so what's that looking like? Because I'm sure you've
I
reached out.
haven't sourced it yet. But still scans as of last night. But I think it's just going to be a bruise, Roy. He's be fine.
Yeah, I hope so. Poor bugger.
Yeah.
It was that sternum. Now I've seen you go with a sternum. That's what I was concerned about.
Oh yes, that's sternum.
That's what you could give him some advice on. That time you ran into that letterbox.
Ran into a letterbox and broke my sternum. Yeah. I'll tell you what.
I'm glad he didn't take all the advice Cal would have given him because, man, oh, man, it would have been a performance on the field to
Logie
behold.
Award.
Oh, look, he bruised his sternum by the look of it off Jeremy Cameron's bum, right? I ran into a steel letterbox, concreted into the ground.
What a weasel with a steal that one.
And
wasn't
it...
When you hear letterbox, look,
Yeah,
I
I know.
don't often come into bat for you, but when you hear letterbox, you would usually think, oh, you big sook, get up. But this thing, I don't know why they had to reinforce it like that.
It didn't
It's
move.
like they were living on a highway and feared a truck running into it or something.
Unbelievable.
It was not going to budge, that thing.
It was not going to budge.
Now, Tom Hawkins was laid out being managed. Oh, these cats, they do their thing.
They
don't
do their
Chris
thing.
Scott. Luke Edwards out with concussion, and Jaden Short, who has been a failure of a
Shocking pick.
calf injury on 11 points, so no good. The MRO have a couple of, one big one, and that is Matt Crouch out for a week. So it's almost like, though, you should just not be happy that he's out, but you go, you have done well with Matt Crouch.
Yeah.
You can now just turn him into a big dog premium. That's what you should do.
We'll talk about it later, but there's a few that have dropped in price that want to launch to.
Charlie Cameron's copped a week now. Zach Butters got off. I was kissed on that one, I think.
You were lucky there was no KO.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have been a forced trade, 3 weeks minimum.
And we'll be probably waiting on Elliot Yeo a little bit here. That might come under scrutiny, his tackle late in
Possibly,
the game.
but he'll get off.
I've
but
reviewed it, Roy.
Same.
And it's fine.
It's just
Any non-owners review it?
it's if non-owners review the initial angle, they will give him a week.
Yep.
You have to see the second angle, and it was Vlosten's fault. Is that who he tackled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He threw his head back.
He did.
He put a bit of sugar on
He
it.
did.
Come on.
Couple of things from the Magoos. Now, James Harms had 28 disposals and 101. Could Bevo bring him back in?
Oh, who knows?
Yeah. You wouldn't
Caleb
know.
Daniel after
probably
being
played too well.
dropped. So the small potato, 26 disposals, 4 marks, 3 tackles, and 91 points. Old Ari had 31 disposals for the Sandringham, aren't they? 8 marks and a goal for 111. Now, Darcy Jones is one that we will be watching because there were those injuries there at the Giants, and he may come in. So he's a forward worth 200K. So he had 22 disposals, 2 goals, and 84 points. But Cal Ward was very good there, coming back to 33 touches and 100. And Josh Fay, 29 touches and 116. So there will be changes, obviously, with the Giants, so it'll be interesting to
I'm a big
watch.
fan of DJ, but untimely injuries with him. It's your boy that's holding him out of the side now, and he's playing well.
Yeah, well, he had a good game there, Harvey Thomas, this
did,
week.
yeah.
So, after not so good last week.
This is what he does, though, isn't it?
It is. Ratkins,
Oh, boy, Rat.
37 disposals, but 20 marks.
You're kidding.
For
Rat
157.
attack. He's doing it again.
That's unbelievable.
That's enough to get him into the vest, I reckon.
Buderick 106 and Sexton 92 for anyone interested in them. But Cheetahs could get his game at some stage. Still hasn't got there yet for us, but 27 disposals, 11 marks and 118 for him. Now, one worth noting is Liam Ryan played in half back. Is that a bit of a role for him?
100%.
Be that sort of mid-priced forward option for us.
Like, I mean, it's the wrong time of year. We sort of don't want to be shopping there anymore, but it's not like DPPs are going to be our saviour up forward.
No.
So it will be interesting.
Speaking of, did you look next on the notes that
No.
I prepared?
Last night,
It's
as
a
he
good
was sitting
segue,
up,
though.
shining his little trophies.
Oh, shining a
Is that what he calls it?
Yes.
20. Right, after round 6, so after this weekend, it is our first lot of DPPs. You like that one, did you, Cal?
I did, yes. Thanks, Roy. Hey, Roy, you got tears. You got a tear.
All right, DPPs. They need 3 games out of the 6
right.
that have been played or will
Okay.
be played at that point. They need 35% in a different position, so they can only have a single position. They can be mid only or forward only or
Right.
defender only or
Yeah.
ruck only to do that. Now, that new position all comes from what they're doing at lining up for centre bounces and also then at stoppages. Okay, so that's all important there. Now, we've got some names that we can talk about and we'll see what they look like. Adding defender status. Nick Martin, lock.
Yeah,
that's happening. Amon should be happening. Our boy Riley Bonner should be happening. Aish is looking like at Holmes as well. Scott. Yep. Bailey. Bailey,
Yep.
Scott. Then a couple of rookies there. I reckon Colby's still going to get it, and Roberts. Although Colby did have a bit more guts time, even in his time. That's what he was doing.
Yes, he was.
While he was there. So they're all midfielders, but there's some forwards as well that will probably get it, and that's straight out of Combin. He'll end up with it. Fisher as well, and Lukosius Calvinator.
Yep.
So I reckon he will have that. He's a good option to be picking up, I think. Adding forward status, there's not much there. Cover's pretty bad. Now, Sanders, Bevo may have screwed us there as well.
That's the problem.
What a
because-
surprise.
Because he was borderline last week, and I reckon he had more stoppage time in the midfield.
I agree. Before then, it could have just evened up by because they wanted McRae and that in the guts, didn't they? So
Yeah.
couldn't
But
they have
McRae
just
went
pushed him forward?
Yep.
Yeah, push Sando forward. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was all coming into play.
A couple of other interesting names. Now, Simpkins been a fantasy scorer in the past and definitely good enough for our forward line, but he hasn't shown it this year.
No, he hasn't.
So he's likely to get it, though. Matt Kennedy might be there. Justin McInerney might be in the mix as well for that. Now, ruck, always very hard there, but Sam Darcy, is he doing enough, do you reckon, for
He might
the Bulldogs?
sneak into it.
He could be there. That could be a good draft one for coaches to be considering. And but then again, he's probably just as valuable in the forward line.
Yeah,
or more
yeah,
valuable
for
in the
sure,
forward line
for
anyway.
sure.
Now in the midfield, this means really nothing, but it's the guys like names like Isaac Heaney, Cow. who's got... Because he's just a straight forward. So why do you reckon he's adding midfield status?
I'm not sure, Dog. I'm a bit confused, really. Has he been playing in midfield?
We've seen it all before, though, Dog, with Heaney. It just never eventuates.
Youngie.
Until now.
Youngie should get it, so Hayden Young,
Yeah.
Tom Powell, old Massimo, because that's a bit of a wing role. Though
yeah.
he did spend a bit of time back.
Did he?
On,
I've
Saturday night.
stopped watching him.
Yeah, same. He was on my pine. And Bowes.
How do you say that one?
I think it's Bowes.
I think so, but I swear I say it wrong every time.
We do. All right, we're heading into our final early buy round. So this is the last of these best 18s for a little while until we get back to them in round 12. She's a bit of a funny year, this one. But,
It's a very funny year.
What we
I don't
have,
see you laughing, though.
No, I'm not laughing.
the Ds are on it with the Tigers. And the key players there are Max Gone with 43.5% ownership. There's no world we're trading him out.
No.
Or is there?
No, there's not. And this is finally the
And
week.
it sucks
like,
for us.
I don't know why some people's Twitter tweets pop up on my feed, but so many non-Max Gone owners have just been talking about the week this is going to happen. Meanwhile, he's been pumping 140s and
been
it's just
waiting
like
for it.
so. This is the week they've been waiting for. So hopefully they can find some joy and
Get
stop
that-
popping
and
up
get
on
that
my
extra
feed.
15 points because of the best
Yes.
18 from it. No, well, for Max, it could be a lot.
Well, it could
with what
be.
he's been doing. Also for the Ds, Howes is in 48%, so great time to trade now. Some people did it last week, but he rewarded anyone that held with a 68.
Yeah, he did.
Which would have actually counted in my team as well.
Oh, yes.
Windsor, he's in 33% of teams. So, again, someone that could go with these rookies, which we'll talk about soon coming through. Tigers only really one player there, and Cow, you've got him, Seth Campbell. Is he?
Is that his first name, is it? Campbell, yes. He's doing all right.
Yeah,
he's growing a little
doing
bit of
his
coin
job.
for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
And prior to people trading, Christian Salem still had 6.7% ownership there.
Okay.
So. All right. This week could be the week of the double downgrade is what I'm thinking because we actually have quite a few options. Now, we've got to start with the Gold Coast boys.
Yep.
So they are, they were very good.
They were,
obviously. So
again.
we've got, let's start with Closey because it's sort of, he's in a way the week earlier, even though they came in the same week. But most people did that last week. That was the thing of choice because he had the 95 next to his name. He's moved up to 339K now. So he's gone 95 and 94. But Will Graham, if you didn't get him last week, and I know some very astute coaches who might have jumped on Closey the week before or could have got both, who knows. But Will Graham, 104 he had. So he got
14.
those 5 votes.
Yeah, 14 touches, 14 tackles.
Yeah.
So he went up 75K. Closey went up 86K in a single week. That's huge. And Closey still has that negative break even of 37, and Graham's got a negative 29.
Yeah.
So Graham, 327K. It's just almost a must do, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think that's one thing we've changed in our strategy the last few years. We used to go, it's over 300 now.
Not paying for that.
No, thanks. But we got to do it.
We just see how the prices go. That's the thing. They move so fast.
Yeah, and he's just tracking in the right direction. He's getting double-figure CBAs.
Yeah.
None of us saw that coming.
No.
But obviously Flanders has freed up a whole chunk of CBAs, and, Graham's one of the beneficiaries.
It's working well there for him, I reckon. So that's, those two, you're picking one of those this week.
Yeah.
If you don't have the other, can you get both? You probably can.
Yeah, definitely.
If you were doing that, because it could be this double downgrade week. Now, the other one that is there, or other players that are there, let's try to work out who they are and who we could do if there's a bit of ranking. So, throwing out some names here in no particular order. On Saturday afternoon, I like the look of Hugo Garcia, who came on as the sub, and if he can hold his spot in that 22, and we'll know this one because they're playing Thursday night.
Yep.
He was great, 53 in less than half a game, and was busy, just looked part of it. Like, I think you could not have made a better debut as a sub.
No, he did very well.
And so he's at 222K, got the mid-forward status, so there might be that handy flexibility because of the players that we might be getting rid of. Cow, Biggie,
Nyuon.
244K, playing in defence for North Melbourne. 83, obviously a great score, but is that something that we can
They share it around.
Bank on.
They do.
share it around
A
back
lot.
there.
A
Yep.
lot.
There's a lot of marks to be had back there. So, I don't know. He feels, dare I say it, a bit of a safe option.
Oh,
like for a 65 plus.
Yes.
So is Blake Drury, though, you're paying $13K more. North Melbourne again. This is the other part of it. Do we want
This is the
more
one I don't
North
understand.
Melbourne players. So Drury had 101. What did he kick? 2 goals?
2 goals.
2 goals in that. Last year, Roy, so we had him.
Yeah.
I think he scored 53 on debut.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple of awful scores. Might have been vested. Then didn't play for a dozen weeks or so.
No, just
he was a
went missing.
tough own for us.
It was.
He just made no coin. Did
No,
nothing.
but that first game, it looked like he'd be in the team for a long time because although it wasn't a massive score, he actually looked okay in a team that wasn't looking okay. He's obviously holding his spot this week, but 11 marks, 2 goals. How is he going anywhere? But also, how the hell did he do that?
Yeah.
Like,
So-
how did he take 11 marks?
Yeah, well, North Melbourne nearly got beat by 100 points.
Like, I was watching bits and pieces of the game, but
Yep. So Sheezel takes 15 marks. Scott in defence has 11. Luke McDonald has 11 marks in defence. Biggie took 7 marks for his 83 in defence.
see, the guy's playing behind the ball. That makes sense to me. But
Yep.
how did he take 11
that's exactly
as a
right.
forward? And he stands no taller than 5 foot.
No, 11 marks, 2 goals. Had a day.
He did. And like, so he's got a negative break even now. And God, dare I say it, dog, I'm tempted to go back to the little blood nut.
The thing is, how many Roo nuts do we want, though?
Not this many.
We're,
But the
we're
thing is-
loading up with them.
I know. And the joke of it is, though, it's not like it's all just cash cows, because you can see how you could load up with a heap of cash cows from a mega rebuilding, not very strong team, because that's where they're obviously going to get
But
games.
you've got Shees.
But you've got
You've
premiums
got
there as
Powell,
well.
who's a rolling 22.
100% he is.
Ex-Airy.
Yeah.
You've got your risky fish.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
also just rolling over
Ticking along
okay.
for
Yeah.
us. And in the forward line, you might as well take his 80s.
Yep. So you've literally got a spread of the lot.
Yeah, the whole team.
Yeah. But yes, dog, given he's so cheap with a low break even, I think you can add another Roo.
Okay, and again in the forwards, we've still got a couple there. Harvey Thomas, I don't think he can do it at 346 because there are those other options that you could be going for. Because he's gone that 100, then 15 he was subbed out because that was a bad 15. Wasn't scoring. And then had 81 on the weekend, which for a lot of coaches, I reckon he would have been almost the last forward to put on field because of that, and then would have had a score that could have counted.
Geez, he works hard. Like, there was a goal he kicked where the play started on the back flank and he was an option back there. And he just sprinted to the goal square up the other end. It was bloody impressive.
Speaking of a hard worker that I like the look of, and that's Kai Lohman. Like, he's at 314K. I just feel like it's just such bad timing with him.
It is,
But like, he was in the vest the first few weeks, and then he's gone 78 and 64 since losing it.
Yeah.
Like,
because he is
you know,
good.
that's what
He's
you
a good
could
player.
launch into
He is, isn't
at
he?
314.
It was disappointing he was ever in those vest conversations. Otherwise, we'd all have him. For now, but some reason now, you usually see 78, 64, low 300s, and you'd be launching on that.
Yeah, you could.
But it's just
we
those
just have these
sons
other
that are-
options. So if we're doing this, let's have a look at it. So we'll shelve our sons there and Graham and Closey because they're your number one targets.
I think so.
Who's next? Who is it? Is it Drury over Nyuon?
I think I'm Biggie. Biggie over Drury.
Okay.
It feels like a safer plus 60.
I fear for Drury, Roy.
Drury's not starting for us at any point.
No.
And neither should Biggie either.
So, no. So you're just starting. So these guys are coming into your team. You want job security.
Yeah, well, there's the thing. If any of those guys are getting vested, it's Drury. Like, Biggie played 92% of the game. I just feel that Drury sits forward, doesn't produce one day, and they go, off you come, mate. They're not dragging Biggie.
No.
So
You're probably right there.
It's about time.
Well, yeah, you are making sense, though. Just how the hell did Blake take 11 marks?
I don't know. An anomaly.
But because, he's a year older now.
Yep.
He might be making space.
Might have grown a little bit.
Maybe. I need to watch his highlights.
Might dye his hair this week.
Decide it. So Biggie would be taking those uncontested chippies, which is always going to be safe for 6 or so if they keep playing like this.
Yes.
Whereas that could dry up for Drury.
I think
you
so.
would think.
Fair to say the jury's out.
It is.
That one.
You are spot on.
Well done, Doug.
Well done, because you are correct.
The other one there, we did mention Darcy Jones before, could be in that mix if you did want that 200K, but huge sub risk there.
Yes.
Oh, massive.
Have to be. All right, let's look at some trade targets then. Midfield might be where you want to start shopping, and whether it's this week or next week, because we'll have those DPPs that will be flicking back or have the opportunity to flick back. So, Roy, you got excited about Sam Walsh, and we will bear the listeners your sob story about how you could have got him instead of Brayshaw this week.
Will I have a quick look about it?
Yeah, go.
Go, 20 seconds.
Well, I was bullish on it because Sam Walsh historically has shown he can come into a season late and go bang from the get-go, and he did that. He looked like someone who was devastated that they'd missed any footy, and he took it out on the Crows. So he was amazing. I thought he would be...
All right, that's enough. But it was amazing. Is he an option for you to bring in?
Well, he certainly is.
100%.
Like, he only took 2 marks, but he had laid like 13 tackles to go with his 34 touches. So... absolute beast. I'm devastated at the stupid way that I have played the last, well, it'll be 2 weeks, because now I think I can't get to him. So he won't be in my team till he probably costs 950,000. So yes, launch into.
I love the look this week of Errol Goulden at 930K. I think coming off the bye, it might almost be a little bit forgotten too, because they did have the bye last week and you don't see this massive score next to his name, but he's at 930K. Yeah. Where'd he start? He must have been over a million.
I reckon he would have been $1 million man.
So
he was
worth looking at there.
Big time. I'd love to trade him in.
Sort of thing.
Yep.
Jack Steele is still under $1 million. Cow, you could get that weasel if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, I definitely could.
What about if there's any value in the midfield? And it's not the place that we love trying to, at this point, or this upgrade season doing it, but it might be, you know, if you're struggling with your cash gen and all that sort of stuff, that you might need to go somewhere. And it might be that little mini upgrade. Xavier Dersma.
He's still value.
673K, and this is what he's done the last 3 weeks. 103, 99, and 124, which makes his break-even just 24. He's looking good.
He is.
And he's getting the bow and arrow out.
Oh, he is. And that's the funny thing about that, because they're the highlights that we remember, because, well, I think we're on record of saying we are big fans of the bow and arrow.
Love the arrow.
But so I think he had 2 possessions inside 50. He's doing his bulk work in the back half, taking those marks. I think he had double-figure marks on the weekend, and then he's just pushing forward and being that goal threat. So, yeah, it's a pretty safe role for the Durs. I do like him, but not an area I'd shop at this time of year.
In the ruck, you might look at... Oh, now I've sort of skipped over defenders because we've got the DPPs coming through. There is some value there and some guys that you could go to. But I reckon if in your backline at the moment, you're probably going to those rookies and you're not really looking to do upgrades back there, are you?
No, not with the guys we'll throw back next week.
So in the ruck, Rowan Marshall's the one to get at $1.029 million. You couldn't go from gone to him, though, could you?
I don't think so. No.
I think because there's so many cash cows available at the moment, you couldn't possibly have all of them.
No.
You wouldn't think. It's just not an area you'd shop.
Cow.
Yes.
Is he going to be number one again? That would be 3 weeks in a row.
I can't tell you, dog.
Oh.
You got to wait till
Thursday night.
6:15 Thursday night when we go live on afl.com.au or on the AFL Live official app.
Good.
How did I go?
Not the AFL.com.au. I did like that last
I do
week.
fumble my words when I talk about the internets.
The intranets? No, you did well. Again.
He has to be in the conversation.
He's so good.
Of course he is. And he is up against Tim English. Last year he had a 116 against him.
Rolling 22-wise, Marshall's won, obviously.
Maxi's at the moment.
Oh, Max is. Right.
Okay.
So then that's another reason you definitely wouldn't. But
No. So, but that is about to flip-flop, I reckon. So Marshall, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was my number one at the start of the year, wasn't
He would have been, yes.
Yeah, so anyway, Max has probably forced my hand a little bit there, but realistically, yes, it's Marshall 1, Max 2.
now, forward line, am I ranking the top 3 of your rolling 22 right here? Heaney.
Yes, correct.
What does a weasel sound
Correct.
Zorko.
Kapow comes before
How
Zorko.
comes before Zorko?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's just purely you being scared
yes.
Oh,
of his
Correct.
body.
and the fear is real, I'll tell you that.
Yes, that is
When you
correct.
got to the end of that fourth
Dog.
quarter, Cow, you were up and about.
Roy's fear is one of my criteria.
That is right. I just want to know where you turn those little knobs in the calculator machine that is the rolling 22. Right. So in there, the forwards are a bit hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Caldwell, bit of midfield clock. He's got the mid forward status at 704k, 86, 103, 108 in his last three. Building.
Well, he's building all right, and he's actually staking his claim to F6.
So that would be a
'cause it
good
drops
buy there
off.
at
There's-
704k.
Yeah. So there's only 5 players that actually deserve to be in the. I considered not having an F6 for a few weeks.
Fair enough,
Because they just like you can't just reward mediocre behaviour, and that's what I felt like I was doing. But Caldwell, my fear is whether he stays in there.
Yeah.
Dylan Shield, I saw played all right in the Magoos the other
that's-
day. Do they like him or are they over him? They can't
Sub
pay
him.
him that much and
Not use him.
not use him, you wouldn't think. But as long as he's in there, I think he's going to hold down F6 this week. I haven't decided yet.
Fair enough.
Lukosha's the one that I really like there at 629, so, 80k cheaper or whatever.
Yes.
Are you all in on that?
I'm very comfortable with Lukosius there.
So
yes.
he'll
He'll be in the mix.
Yeah, he's gone back in the last 3 weeks and averaged 86.
Yeah, it's enough.
So at that
At
price,
his current price, yes.
I like him a
The
lot.
roll is there.
A couple of other names worth floating here. Mate Paul from Perth there was talking about a bit of Sam Darcy.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting it done, all right.
He's a very good young player, that's for
I
sure.
think we've missed the boat on him,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
He's up to 572. He's
Yeah.
gone up 128.
Yeah.
What about Rankin? He did get some more midfield clock.
Yeah.
The Crows did change things up.
They changed
He
it.
kicked
Then
3
they
goals to get 107.
Fluked a bloody win.
That was a great win.
My boys beat your boys.
But the problem with it is that, yes, they did win and they did mix that up. So it's just bad news for Dawson and Laird and Crouch.
I don't think they know what they're doing. That's
Things
the
are going to
problem.
be evolving and changing a bit, aren't they?
Yeah. But it's also not enough for me to launch into Rankin.
No, 100%. The other name there, I threw him in there because we talked about him last week, but straight out of Combin. Now, he's 441k, 69.
Yeah, it was
solid
good
enough score.
It
Very-
was a good-looking 69.
Yeah. So I guess the thing is, are you just better off to save coin on that 441 now and go a biggie in the 200s, a Drury, that sort of option?
Probably.
But I guess the
They
thing
might
is,
score
we are
very
looking.
similar.
We've only got one more week of the best 18, and like Cow said, your team looks good for best 22s.
Oh, great. It's built for best 22,
Yeah.
Roy. Best 18s.
Yeah. No, mine's looking shaky for 22 at the moment.
Yeah,
I don't love it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week coming up, I reckon. Afterwards.
Because that's why, I hate double downgrades, but I think I need to do it to fix myself for best 22.
Yep.
I need one more premium,
Okay.
and that's the only way I'll get there.
Right, we're going to look at the most traded players now ahead of round 5. These are early doors, and Will Graham, good reason why that big score. Cracking the ton last week gets him is the most traded in. Sam Walsh is there, Roy. Good move there after his big 145. Blake Drury, Sam Closey, and Hugo Garcia.
Okay.
He's the one. People like the look of him as well. A few other names there. People are wanting to still get Sam Flanders, but yeah,
Fair
that's
enough.
a great move. And Isaac Heaney comes actually a little bit further down on the scale.
does he just?
He's still cheap.
He's very cheap.
That's the thing. I
Yeah.
think that at that price, he's in the 900s, he's playing like $1 million man.
He is, 100%.
Cow, you could still do it, mate.
I'm looking into it.
Most traded out is Colby McKercher after being subbed out injured on his 2 points. Massimo D'Ambrosio, he is also sent packing with Matt Crouch with his suspension. Blake Howes on the bite and Riley Sanders too. Pretty much his cash generation might be, halted there as it is.
Yeah. It's disappointing because he was going to be F6 for us, wasn't he? That was the plan.
All right, let's have a look at our trades. I'm going the double downgrade, which we've been talking a bit about, and that is Will Graham comes in for McKercher, and Hugo Garcia is mine for Harvey Gallagher. That means I've got 300k in the bank to go shopping with next week. Looking for that midfield upgrade when we've got the dual position players coming in. Someone goes back.
Look at that. He's on. He's on at the moment,
He's
dog.
feeling it.
There's a hat or a Hilux coming.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. Now, I'm going Graham in for Colby, and I'm going to try to fix up my Nat 5, who's been okay, but not really lately.
Yeah.
He had a 60 on the weekend, and bringing in Lacocious. Smaller kitty than you, dog, only 100K.
Yeah, okay. I hate double downgrades, but I don't think I can actually strengthen my team this week. So I'm going Blake Drury in for Jai Clark and Will Graham for Colby, and I think it gives me about 280 in the kitty.
Right, we're looking forward to going shopping then for round 7. Hopefully
Yes.
for when we're back to our best 22s, that our
Solid.
teams can be all right.
Competitive.
Let's hope so.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
Heaps of questions. We'll get through as many as we can before we have to shut up shop here today. Now, Tim has got this one. It's probably for Cow. With 3 weasels all about to tick over $1 million, is Cow more likely to pick them up as they're more kind of his price range for trade
Yeah,
targets?
you're spot
This
on,
is
mate.
how it works.
When this is something that I pre-season, if you're going to buy a weasel,
Yeah.
right, you pay $1 million. Don't go value hunting for
No.
these guys. I'm never making ground on anybody here, am I?
No.
Ever.
No.
How am I ever going to get to that?
No, that's the thing. Like, traditionally, in a situation like this, the best thing is to take them on because you can't get the points they've already scored.
No.
You got to wait till they fail. But these weasels are like diesel weasels. They just keep going and going and going. They're amazing.
Thing is, though, I'm happy to let Heaney slide. I cannot let Sheezel Weasel number 2 slide any more than what he is because he's just so good.
Yeah.
Still, I can go a Goulden or someone like
Yes.
for like.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah, Sheezel's on a different level.
problem.
He's a problem.
He's a massive problem.
Diesel Weasel.
I love this one from Andrew Domahidi.
Oh, yes.
Got this question.
Andy.
Bont to Noah Anderson. How good was Noah Anderson? Have a look at the Suns' run coming up too.
I'll be the
be a
judge
good
of
That
that.
was just he was tackling. Why was he tackling so well all of a sudden?
Yeah, he just decided
So
to
he
tackle.
wants to go Bont to Noah Anderson.
Okay.
Right.
We're trying to back in Bont, but
We are, but
yeah.
I understand your frustration.
But he must have coin because listen, what he's going to be able to do with Colby McKercher. Go to Sam Walsh. What are your thoughts on this trade, Andy? You're just swagging with that one.
Andy
mate.
knows it's a good trade.
I've seen Andy tweet the last 2 weeks, one in a head-to-head with Warndog.
Yeah.
He got you.
No,
This
he
week.
didn't. He got
he
Cow.
got
Cow. Oh.
How dare you?
And that's not it. That's like kicking a man while he's down, Andy.
And he did it twice. He posted it twice,
does.
Andy. You
Just
too.
keep posting.
Well done, Andy.
Chris, thoughts on bringing Hugo Garcia this week? Is it the best option I can find so I can get D'Ambrosio to Dacos? So that's another one we didn't mention back there.
Dacos, of course.
Because we are looking at these defenders, but geez, Dacos is a Taj, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Great pick.
Yep, I like that. Zeus Man, morning, gents. Good morning.
Morning.
Do I trade out rookies Clark and McKercher as priorities this week, or trade out one of those two and Massimo? I was hoping to hold Massimo one more week until DPP. He needs to go. You know, his break even actually has shot up to 78 now. It actually surprised me a little bit that it got that high.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
he's been a fail pick, Roy.
Yes, big time. At the end of the day, though, he hasn't lost any money, but he's about to, so get rid of him.
Yeah.
Did he? He wouldn't have lost money this week, did he?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's up to 5. I think he might have been exactly. I think he might.
I think he
have
broke
stayed.
even. He's 5.90. He scored 65. I think he just
Broke even.
Right.
perfect.
Get
break
off
even.
now.
Yep.
Be nice too. All right. Is Graham real? Is the question here from Noah's Food Reviews official.
Oh, his role is at the moment.
The role
and
is.
he's doing nothing to lose it. Is there anyone big coming back? I think they're all there. All their big players.
Are we? And the thing is, like in a best 22 week, he might sneak in as one of those on-field rookies.
Yeah.
Especially if we are selling guys like Colby or possibly
Yeah.
Riley.
Yeah, for sure. He's not someone like that I think is going to be scoring 100 every week.
No.
Like, what did he score that first week? 65 or something?
63 it was. Yeah.
So I feel like he's a 65, 70.
He's had
guy.
29 CBAs in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's the 4th banana.
Yep.
Not a question here, but who in our trading out of rookies, who are going? Like it's Colby.
Colby has to be first.
Jai Clark hasn't made a lot of coin. He obviously scored 2 as a rookie,
So,
as a vested Rook.
It's just a bit of frustration for me. With
Does
him.
he just almost become a red dot?
He,
You just
that's
have
what
to
he
stick
is.
with him because
he's worse than a red dot.
It's
He's a
a bit of
brown
a-
dot
it's
because
a
he's
l-
losing money.
It's a luxury move, isn't it, to do that because you're not going to gain any coin out of doing him.
Nah, but he's losing money. What is he actually doing?
So he dropped 10K. He's got a break even of 50.
His role was there. He was
Yep.
given the chance.
He was.
He just didn't do anything. So, boy, aren't you big on trading him out, dog?
Oh, I'd like to,
Yeah.
but it's just the coin.
What, you want someone
Like,
that's going to make
yeah.
you some more?
Yeah,
Yeah. What are we going to do with him if
I know.
just wait?
Yeah, that's it. Just
Is-
make that a next week problem.
Yeah, I know.
But
how many
those next
how
week
many
problems
times can I
come
do
up
that?
a
I
lot.
keep doing he's
Zach
a next
Reed
week
was a next
problem,
week
and they're
problem
all
after
just
round one.
Yeah, and they're all just still sitting there for me. It'll dry up eventually if I
will.
don't do something with one of them.
Max wants to know, should I be trading out Tom Green or Caleb Serong based on their break-evens? Where are we sitting with guys like that? You just have to rock and roll with them, don't you?
I'm ignoring.
Like we're with Bond.
I'm ignoring their break evens and saying, well, they're in the team. They've got high ceilings. They're going to make up for it at some stage. Just leave them there and fix work around it.
Serong's going at 116.
Yeah.
He's got a break even of 159, which is exactly the same as Tom Green's break even. Tom Green's going at 108.
Yeah,
We got to take the good with the bad.
I know. It's when you see two on the trot,
Yeah, that hurts.
alarm bells start to ring.
Yep.
But just stick with them, I reckon.
Would you trade Fisher out to get Zorko in?
I'm feeling that's like it's borderline luxury at the
Yeah,
moment. The
it
Fish
is.
is getting it done, but it also feels like a ticking time bomb with Fish. Like he's scoring sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that first half yesterday, I was like, oh boy, we're in trouble here. So that is a nice upgrade. Yeah.
Now, Dylan wants to know, do you go Bonner to Sheezel or is it the Moose to Yo?
Bonner's not done.
No, he's not.
He's only had one bad score, really.
Musamor is probably the one that goes. Like, you're
Yeah.
definitely trading him ahead of Bonner.
Bonner could turn up this
And
week
Yo
easily.
is fine
Yeah.
to be getting in.
I think so.
As long as he's right with that tackle.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Crouch suspension, is Jackson's question. Just general footy.
Yeah, ripped off.
But I guess it's fantasy footy we're trading.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Just back to that other one for a sec. Like the Shees, obviously Bonner can get to Shees, but everyone can get Bonner to an Uber at the moment. I think that'd be a common question. I don't think we do it yet. I don't think we pull it.
We say Bonner went up. He went up 37K last week. He's around the 700 mark now.
Yeah.
Break even is 60. So you think he'd just keep ticking away at the 30, 40K each week?
Well, they've got the Bulldogs this week.
They do.
Like,
Like he'll probably
Under
turn
the
up
roof.
versus them. Yeah.
should do.
Yeah. So I think we hold Bonner.
Yep. Oscar, McKercher to Graham and Jordan to Zorko. Are you okay with that one?
Jordan to Zorko. Yes.
I
So
am.
Jordan can still go, obviously, this week.
Yeah.
But would you go Jordan to, I don't know, my brain is almost feeling, because of your fear of the Zork,
Yeah.
like, do you just go to the Lukosius and save a couple of hundred, is it? It must be.
It is. Yep.
Good couple of 100K, which then sets you up later. Like, can you go those types of guys in the forward line instead, rather than try to reach to the top,
Yeah.
so that you can reach to the top in the midfield?
You can. I don't mind the points on the board. There's 20 points difference between those two every week.
240K difference.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But that was a choice I had last week, and I took the points.
There's hardly a wrong answer with it when
Didn't
you
help
factor in
much.
the cash.
Didn't
Actually, imagine if you didn't do it.
Yes. No, it'll be...
The elephant.
But
Yes.
we're still ticking Zork off, but the time is gonna come. I'm
know.
convinced that like he's not gonna play the rest of the season.
No.
And it's just hopefully he plays the game out before an injury occurs.
So he's got Geelong at the Gabba on Saturday night in a game where Sheezel had the 15 marks, they all had their marks. So maybe he gets amongst that this week.
He should be fine.
He should be fine this week.
How can you click in the show notes? Because we've got this one come through from Hunter Struck on X or Twitter. Can you read that for us?
How many cheesels could a Sheezel see if they... I can't read that. If a weasel didn't wheeze while trying to sneeze.
How many cheezels could a Sheezel seize if a weasel didn't wheeze while trying to sneeze?
I've no chance to say that, mate.
Roy should try it.
Thucker and thuckatash.
All right. What do we got? Joel just wants to know, is Walsh a must-have?
No, he's not a must-have.
Not a must-have. We're not allowed to use that term anymore.
No.
How dare you bring that term up? He's not a must-have, but he's a great value pick.
Value pick, 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Are you picking Walsh or Butters? Obviously, spend a bit more coin on Butters.
I'm picking Walsh there.
I'm going Walsh there.
Yep, that's for cubics.
Yep.
Who do we trade first out of Bont or Dawson? I've got more faith in Bont than Dawson in that role.
At least Bont is still attending more CBAs.
At least Bond had 150 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Bont will have a kick in his bum, I reckon, after
will.
this week.
I reckon.
Jamie wants to know, is Taylor Adams a sub-risk or could you bring him in?
Definite sub-risk.
Remains a sub-risk.
Yep. I think we need to see a little bit more before we launch on that.
We haven't seen one full game from him yet, have we?
Okay.
What have we seen?
He's
One
an option
game.
for us, though. He'll be knocking on the door of your rolling 22 at some point.
Yeah, definitely. He's played one, hasn't he? And he scored well and then got subbed off. Yeah, let's just watch that one for now.
Rightio. Somehow Elliot Yeo still isn't injured. Surely I'd jump on now and he'll tweak a hammy.
Well,
That's how it often
that
works.
is a risk. But bloody oath, that guy looks career best at the moment. He's in such good form.
He's going at 96.
Yeah, and just the way he's playing is amazing.
Question is, where was that one? Sorry, from Blake. Is Crouch a hold? Can he be a hold?
He can be a hold.
He could,
It's a
but
best 18
If you don't have Max, you possibly could. But if you got Max, where you most likely got a big fat 0, so you're only getting 21.
Yeah,
You're only dropping 3 players off.
yeah.
I'm just worried about what the Crows... I'd be trading him.
Just get to someone. Get to Errol Goulden this week.
The last 2 weeks.
Get to Sam Walsh. That doesn't cost you much,
No,
I
it
don't
doesn't.
reckon.
His time on ground dropped under 70 on the weekend.
Yep, and he's only 55% of the CBAs. That's
Now,
a concern.
Russ2468. Rank in priority to trade out Newcomb, McKercher, Sanders, Howes.
Nuke.
Get off that
I think
train.
it's Nuke and McKercher.
Yeah, that's where I'd go.
Got the order.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Nuke's dropped so much coin. You've got to try to get Nuke to
Some
Walsh or something, don't you?
big time. Someone that offers something.
Or is it DPP that gets you a forward? I don't know.
Anything.
Nuke?
Get him out.
He's averaging 69. He's down 140. That's hard. That hurts.
For the chops has this one. Jordan Clark is my lowest averaging on-field defender. Move on onto Walsh and then play Closey on-field. Have Martin for next week. Yeah, so that's not a bad play. You could be putting Closey on-field knowing that Martin's going to go back there.
Yeah.
Closey's going to pick up mid-defender status anyway,
Yeah.
so he'll be able to flick around with
So
stuff
I
as
certainly
well.
tick this off because Walsh is a big upgrade on Clark.
Yep.
Now, one thing that will be what I think a hard watch for you over the next 3 weeks is I reckon Clark is going to break his 100 drought and he's going to score average 100 over the next 3.
Agree. So he goes West Coast, Bulldogs, Richmond.
Yeah.
And they are very, very green.
So 2 at Optus and 1 under the roof.
correct.
Oh, I think he's in for a couple of big days.
He's going to have a couple of good ones there, Roy.
Yeah.
Gus, hi lads, great podcast.
Thanks.
Who goes first, Dawson, Fisher or Williams?
Dawson, Fisher, Williams.
Oh,
Just
man.
Dawson.
Oh,
Dawson,
man.
just trying to turn him into someone.
But
that
can we say
football.
that? Can we
I
say
know,
that?
I don't love saying it, but
I,
it's easy to say sometimes when you don't
yeah.
own them.
So that's our Bond.
It's like, that's our
He's
Bond,
our Bond. He scored more than Bond, and we're saying back Bond.
But Bond, well, I guess he had a bad role a couple of weeks ago playing more forward.
And Dawson, it's not like they've gone, Dawson's old and washed up. He's completely out of the midfield.
Well, he was only in there 48%.
Yeah, but that just can't be a long-term
No.
solution. Your captain, who's clearly your best player,
Agree.
is not just all of a sudden an under 50% CBA guy, is he? Surely.
No, surely not.
So who are
surely
the
not.
other ones? Williams, Dawson.
And Fisher.
Oh, God.
Williams can be a next week problem.
Got to be a fish out of those three.
I think so, but I'm just concerned with what the Crows are doing in their midfield.
Big time. It's a horror show.
Chad, I don't know if we answered this officially. I think I did. But Caldwell or Lukosius, you pay $75K more for Caldwell. I'd be going Lukosius.
I'm Lukosius.
I love Caldwell, though, as an option, I think.
I'll back you in on that.
All right. Nathan just wants to say -3 last-minute change from bringing in Sheezel for Bont as a captain. Brought Bont instead of Sheezel and made Bont skipper.
Look,
Ouch.
that just sucks. That does.
Why do we play this game?
I don't know.
Is it supposed to be fun?
When do you ever nail one of them?
Is it
When
ever
do
fun?
you ever pull one of them off?
I think because when it does come off,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen, right?
You never get any enjoyment.
no, you don't ever get to enjoy it.
You're
but-
just like, oh, well, that's why I did it.
yeah, that's why I did it. Whereas the negative ones are like just a massive slap in the face.
I had my first wake up angry, sweaty after my bringing in Brayshaw. It could have been Walsh. I thought I went to bed and I'd, recovered from it. Nah.
Oh, no.
No, middle of the night demons wake me up to remind me.
That's not how Destroy works.
No.
I love it.
All right. Well, there it is. Round 5 is done. Round 6 is ahead of us. This is our last early buy round. Last time for Best 18 for a few weeks.
Thank goodness.
And,
I need these things.
But we do welcome back blokes like Heaney this week, which is great, Calvinator.
Weasel won.
With one.
Can't wait. After this week, we'll have our first round of DPPs coming through, so stay tuned to that on Sunday night when they will be announced and they'll drop into the game. Make sure you check out all our content, afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. 6:15 on Thursday, Cow, is where we will be talking round 6 teams and captains.
On location too.
On location. We're going to be in Perth.
Wow.
On location.
That'll be cool. Might see you over there.
That'll be awesome.
Yes, look forward to it. All right, there it is. Good luck for round 6.